If you went to the store right now and you bought a $50 shirt, at the end of the day, let me ask you a question. What would you really have? I mean, you would have some cloth that you paid way too much money for, right? Well, you know, I had this guy over my house that was doing some work for me, and he said this quote to me, and I just wanted to talk about that in today's video, today's Talking Hands podcast, by the way. So you don't actually have to stare at the screen if you don't want to. Just feel free to join us, minimize the screen and listen in. But he goes, we were talking about silver, we were talking about premiums a little bit, and he goes, you know what, I buy it no matter what. He goes, I don't like when premiums go high. He goes, I like when spots lower so I can get more. But at the end of the day, I'm still going to go out and I'm still going to buy silver because I just want to keep adding to my stack. I keep want to add something. And then he said, you know, these people, they go out, right? He said, these people, they go out and they buy these expensive clothes. They buy these like fashion shirts that are $50 or these high fashion jeans that are $200 for a pair of jeans. And they spend all this money on stuff that at the end of the day is worth nothing. He said, man, if you buy an ounce of silver, you still have something. If you spent that $50 that you would have spent on that shirt, if you spend it on silver, you still have something. And you know, those were really wise words. Honestly, I really feel like those were some of the wisest words I had heard in a while. It really kind of recollected in my brain some things that I have heard from some other stackers that buy silver and gold no matter what. They go out and they'll buy their stack. They'll spend their 50 or their 100 or whatever they're going to spend each week or each month or each paycheck, and they'll go out and they'll buy their silver no matter what it does. Now, keep in mind, I'm not advocating that you should do that at all. I know there are going to be people in the comments that say, Silver Seeker, you were hyping silver and telling people they should overpay. No, I'm not. Because I myself have many times said that my buying habits are incredibly affected by spot prices and premiums. So I want to talk about all that today in this video. But hey, before we do, guys, do me a favor. Before you minimize the screen, or if you already have done so, go back, do me a favor, make sure you like and subscribe. It helps YouTube recommend this video to others, and that really helps me out. Additionally, don't forget that I am sponsored by sdbullion.com. And if you guys have never ordered from them, you can actually get your first ever order of gold or silver at spot by going to sdbullion.com/new. I'm going to put a link in the description below. And the reason you should do that if you haven't done it yet is because getting silver at spot, why wouldn't you want to do that? Especially right now as I'm recording this, because you can add some other low premium silver to it from their Black Friday deals and whatever. But anyway, getting back into what we were talking about, man, he makes a really good point. Like these people though, and I don't want to sit here and like knock other people's lifestyles, right? But man, I mean, I see these crazy, this is a podcast, so I can't put them up on the screen. You can probably research them, but I see it a long time ago. These crazy jeans, right? These jeans, this was a few years ago. I saw this, maybe longer. They took these jeans, they made them look artificially muddy, and then of course they had holes in the knees and on the legs, and you could see the threads in the bottom of the pants, you know, the bell area. I don't know if they're called bells, but you know, the bottom of the pants where it goes to your ankle, you know, those were all torn up, and they just looked like they were brand new jeans made to look like they were old. And you know what these things were selling for? I don't even remember the exact amount, but I know it was thousands of dollars for one pair. Thousands of dollars for one pair of fake worn jeans. There are people that are spending I can't say hard earned. I have a feeling that the people that buy this stuff, their money isn't what we would call hard earned, okay? But there are people that are spending money to look like your everyday, hard working carpenter, plumber, whatever it is, road worker, whatever. Hole digger, it doesn't matter. There are people that are paying money, thousands of dollars, to wear jeans that look like they were from someone who works like that. Are you kidding me? You know, those people that are actually doing the work, actually putting the work in to make this world a better place, to make this country a better place. You know, those people would absolutely love it if you went into their closet and you bought their old beat up jeans for thousands of dollars. But instead, they're giving it to these companies that make these fake jeans that look like they've been worn. And I'm starting to get angry here, but it's just so irritating to me, like that anyone would spend their money on this. But sure enough, like you saw listings on these websites, you know, these high-end clothing websites where they were sold out of them. And, you know, people, you know, then you get into the really rich people that are spending $50,000 on a bag and $200,000 sunglasses. And man, I could go on, and I'm sure you could too. But at the end of the day, think about what he had said. Think about what the guy that was at my house had said. At the end of the day, you have nothing. Eventually that stuff is going to wear out. And even if it's, 10 years from now, that stuff is going to end up in a trash heap or in a storage closet, and it's not going to be seen again until you end up paying, hundreds of dollars a month for storage rooms that you never go to for 2 years, and then you eventually throw everything out of anyway. Another thing that I think a lot of people end up wasting their money on is they spend a bunch of money each and every month to store things that they're not going to end up keeping. And I am, by the way, very guilty of this. I'm not going to sit here and say that I don't have a storage room. I certainly do. But my point is that most of the stuff in my storage, as well as I'm sure many other people who have storage in these storage lockers, most of that stuff probably doesn't need to be stored because they're going to go in 5 or 10 years and they're no longer going to care about it. They're going to be detached from it because they're like, oh, I don't want to get rid of this. And then in 5 or 10 years, they're like, oh, I don't really want this. And then they throw it away anyway, right? So I don't know. I'm certainly guilty of that. But anyway, getting back on to gold and silver, I know I really got off course, but hey, that's what podcasts do. Getting back to gold and silver, these people, there are people that, just like the guy who I spoke about at the beginning of the video, there are people who spend money, they buy their silver every single week or month or paycheck, regardless of what spot price and premium does. And I'm not saying that they don't pay attention to those numbers. I'm not saying that they don't care. I'm not saying that they wouldn't rather it be cheaper, but they put their money into it anyway. Now, I want to go back to a story, that kind of supports this thought process, but for a different reason. I actually shared this on the channel a few weeks ago with an interview with Josh from Coin and Bullion. I don't know if you've seen that video, but I had this friend who, unfortunately, his wife had passed away, and he had started having this bout with depression, and his way to kind of drown out the pain, and just between you and I hope I never have to go through anything like that, but his way to drown out the pain from losing his wife was to go to the bar and basically drink everything. He would get his paycheck, he would go to work, he kept his job, but he would go to work, and then he would take his paycheck and he would go to the bar and he would blow every single bit of it on alcohol and booze and just kind of wasting the pain away. He got drunk every single night at home. I'm surprised he was able to maintain his job. But he realized that what he was doing was unhealthy, that he was killing himself, that he was putting himself into the poorhouse, so on and so forth, having trouble paying his bills because he spent all of it on alcohol. And he started buying silver. Now, you'd probably say, man, that doesn't sound like somebody who's in a really good position to buy silver. But the reason he bought silver is because, and he told me this, and it was kind of mind-blowing to me. And by the way, I'll tell you what he did with the silver. And this wasn't really related to that, but he put his silver in the bottom of his fish tank. We'll get back on topic in a second, but I asked him why he would put it in his fish tank, and he told me that the reason he put it into his fish tank, if anyone ever broke into his house, anyone ever tried to rob him, they're probably not going to look in his fish tank for valuables. And I thought that was incredible, but anyway, getting on back to the important topic is that silver saved his life, he said, because silver added that extra layer between him and his money. He would get his paycheck, and before he would go to the bar, he would go out and buy silver. He'd throw it in his fish tank, and he knew that he would have to fish. That was a pun I didn't intend to do. But anyway, he knew he would have to fish his money out of his fish tank, take it to a bullion dealer, sell it to get his cash. And that's an extra step that kept him between his money and alcohol. And he used that as a way to start drinking less. So he would spend more and more of his paycheck on silver. Now, at the end of the day, he probably did not do well financially with the silver. He probably ended up losing money on his silver after he started selling it, once he started getting better. And by the way, just so you guys know, if you want to know how the story does end well, he has gotten better. But, he probably lost some money in that silver. But at the end of the day, he would have had nothing if he would have just continued to put it into alcohol. And additionally, he probably would be dead today if he would have continued drinking like he was. So good on him. Granted, that's not the way. And, just kind of like I said at the beginning of the video, people are like, oh, secret, you're telling people to make. No, I'm not saying that that's a good idea. I'm not saying that that's something you should do. I personally think that is the wrong reason to stack. But it does support what the conversation I had with the guy over my house was about. And that conversation was about, if you put your money into things that are worthless, you will have nothing. Putting your money into overpriced clothing or things that you don't need but you want, at the end of the day, they all end up in the same place. And again, I'm guilty of it. I have bought things that I shouldn't have bought very recently, by the way. It wasn't like I made these decisions 10 years ago. I mean, we're talking recent bad decisions. I already said that I have a storage unit, even though I just criticized storage units. I definitely have one. So I am in no way, guys, a saint here. I am in no way somebody who doesn't make those mistakes. And I say all the time on this channel that, listen, I might tell you things that I think. I might tell you things that I've experienced. I might tell you reasons that I do stuff, but at the end of the day, I am no better than you, and I'm no better than anybody else. I just have the opportunity, thanks to you guys listening and watching, to get in front of the camera and talk to you about these things. So that's not the right way. That's not the right reason to stack silver. I mean, it's not. And if that's something you decide to do based on that story, well, that's on you, but that's not why you should stack silver. You should stack silver because I do believe, again, this is my opinion, of course, but I do believe in silver as a way to have real money, as a way to really have something. Because even at the end of the day, like this stuff right here, always going to have value. It's always going to have demand. Even if that demand or that value goes up or down over time, it's never going to be zero. The US dollar can certainly be zero. Will it happen in our lifetime? I don't think it's very likely, but it's certainly possible. It's certainly possible. I'm just saying I don't think it's very likely because I think there's a lot more going on to it than that. But silver will never go to zero, guys. Gold will never go to zero. Silver and gold will always have value. They have for millennia. They have for 5,000 years plus. They've been used as trade. They have been used as barter. They have been used as real money. And to this day, I still continue to believe in silver and gold as real money. That being said, I just want to put this in there, even though many of you that watch this or are listening right now have probably heard me say this before. There are other things that you need to keep cash for. You should never get rid of all your cash. You need it for emergencies. You need it to pay your bills, so on and so forth. But the smart decision for all of us to make, myself included, would to be to put your extra money, your excess money, outside of having that emergency fund, outside of getting your bills paid off, outside of getting out of debt, especially high interest debt like credit cards. After that, physical, whether it be precious metals, whether it be land, whether it be guns and ammo, whatever it is you put your money into, it should be something physical that you can hold in your hand, which, you know, people are going to scold me now, especially if you're watching this far in or listening this far in and you're into crypto. I'm not a crypto person. I don't believe in crypto. I believe that there is the opportunity to make a lot of money with cryptocurrency, and I don't disacknowledge that. I know a lot of people have done so. I myself invested in Tron. I did obviously Bitcoin and Litecoin and a bunch of other altcoins back in the day, but I did so not because I believe in silver, or not because I believe in crypto as on a fundamental level. I did so because I believed that there was an opportunity there to make more fiat currency that I could then turn into silver and gold, which I did. I don't know. That's all I have to say. I believe in physical assets. I know I just kind of ripped into crypto there, and that wasn't my intent in this video. I didn't even plan on bringing it up. But the beauty of sitting in front of a microphone and just talking nonstop, nonchalantly, without any goal or ultimate end game, or like we're going to get to the end and this is going to be revealed, or this is what the prices are, or this is how the premiums are working out. The beauty of getting in front of the microphone and just talking is that, you know, sometimes you get way off course and it doesn't matter. That's why I love the Talking Hands, doing this Talking Hands style podcast. So I'm going to end it here. And I don't know, maybe one of these days I'll do like a 2-hour long episode where I'll just talk, and who knows what topics we'll cover, because I certainly probably would run out of things to talk about with silver that I haven't already covered in a 3-hour podcast or whatever. But maybe I'll get a guest. I don't know. But I hope you guys like these. I really do. Make sure you subscribe. Bookmark the playlist for the Talking Hands podcast if you guys want to listen to more. And we will continue to do these on Fridays, so long as there are people that are willing to listen. So thank you so much. Appreciate you guys being here. Don't forget, again, to like and subscribe to help YouTube tell other people to listen and watch. And, we'll see you next time, guys. Thanks so much.